teach you this. This is how you open an oyster.
I ate these in France when I was a kid. I said they taste like the future.
I was reminded.
Let's talk about the new film Tony, directed by Matt Johnson, who of course is the director behind the film that I truly can till this day say is one of the best biopics of sorts, Blackberry. Yes, Blackberry indeed still holds up so well. I just got a chance to watch it a couple of months ago and I still think it's great. I want to do a review for it because I don't think I've ever done a review for it. But I watched Tony and Matt Johnson's having a spectacular year, right? Because Nirvana, the band, the show is a movie that recently got really great critical acclaim after its premiere at TIFF last year. TIFF is right around the corner as well, so we're going to talk about some TIFF movies I'm excited for. But Matt Johnson truly is getting some pretty great recognition. I think it's rightfully deserved. But this is the film Tony, which is based on Anthony Bourdain. And Anthony Bourdain is somebody who I think I hold very dear. A well-renowned writer, a very important person, not just when it comes to cuisine, but I think about life. And I want to discuss that more in this review, so stay tuned. But Dominic Sessa here plays the titular role of Anthony Bourdain. And we basically follow Bourdain in this summer that truly changed his life, I feel. And I think that this is a movie that a lot of people are going to really enjoy. I don't think you have to know who Anthony Bourdain was. I don't think you have to know much about cooking. I don't think you have to know much about anything. This is a movie about life and just how it can come swinging at you and how you swing back. And I think that this is really the coming of age summer movie that people are talking about is true. It is a true spectacle to watch on the big screen. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our other videos where we talk about the movies you don't want to miss, like Buddy, which we'll talk about today as well. But let's talk about Tony, a movie that I think is rightfully one of the best of the year. So like I said, this movie basically follows Anthony Bourdain on this summer that changes his life, I feel. He really does a 180 to his life due to this summer, and it is incredible to see. Matt Johnson here directing feels very different from what we've seen before from him, whether it's Blackberry or Nirvana, the band, the show. I think that truly here he is touching another aspect of filmmaking that feels more like slice of life type vibe, but at the same time there is a lot more like drive and meaning to his characters, right? I think that there is a lot here that you will really love about Dominic Sessa's performance if you loved him in The Holdovers. I think he is a true raw talent that's able to really capture these emotions and really bring them out in a way that feels so natural and easy instead of him trying to portray somebody else. You truly feel he is Anthony Bourdain in these movies. And Anthony Bourdain is a person who I think had so much to say in his life and throughout the show and his books and all of that, as well as his cooking. And I think that that is what made him such a grand character and a grand person, is because he sort of transcended the sort of quote unquote cook or chef that turns into a TV show personality, right? Because he sort of cross the boundary between food and also life and culture and all of that. Very respectful of everybody around him. And I think that's what really set him apart from a lot of the people that you see on TV that do food stuff, right? In this movie, you really get a great sense of what drove him to go in that direction and how he became who he was. And I really loved it, honestly. Really amazing performance from Dominic Sessa, really tapping into the person that Bourdain would be and also showcasing the person that he was at the time, because he was a very different person. And I feel like you start to see Dominic Sessa sort of mold into that person that Bourdain would become as the film ends its runtime. In this film, you also have Emilia Jones. You have in this film Leo Woodall. You have Stavros Halkias and Antonio Banderas, all doing an exceptional job, I will add. I think they really aid to the whole story in itself. I do feel like it being a biopic, it's going to fall into tropes where the rest of the characters are sort of just aiding the main character's story and don't really get to be fleshed out. And that's a shame, because I feel like some of these characters were very interesting if we dove a little bit deeper into them. But nonetheless, it is a biopic and it's just going to fall into that. And I still think that they did an exceptional job with whatever they were given. Like I said, it is going to fall into the biopic tropes. So you will have redeeming arcs and things that happen. Maybe it was a bit more nuanced for Tony and it doesn't really get expanded well. But I think for Matt Johnson to turn this into a biopic for Anthony Bourdain was very smart to just choose this summer because it was a pivotal summer. He could have gone the other way of a biopic and try to do everything, and like, this was Tony as a young teenager, this was Tony as a college student, this was Tony when he went into culinary art school, and instead chose to just focus on this one aspect of Tony's life that was very, I would say, pivotal, like I've been saying throughout this whole review. How many times have I said pivotal in this review? But truly, that is how this movie feels. It is a movie that kind of gets right in your face and says, like, how much are you truly doing for what you truly want to do, right? And I think that it is such a amazing film in that regard, that it makes you think about your own life as well and what you're doing with it and what you would like to do with it. I think it's an incredible movie from Matt Johnson and a really different step in direction as to what he's done before. It makes me more excited to see him as a filmmaker as the years go by. I think Dominic Sessa as well proves that he is a young talent with extreme raw performance abilities that are so rare to see nowadays, where he truly sort of falls into this character but doesn't make it a character, you know? It feels like a fleshed out person. And I'm excited to see what comes next from all of these talented people who worked on this film. Like I said, everybody else was great, but they kind of fall second to Tony, but that's just the thing with biopics, right? Overall, I recommend seeing this as soon as you get the chance. I think it's a great coming of age, feel good sort of life movie that you should see, and I really do love it, honestly, as a fan of Bourdain. And I think even if you don't know who Anthony Bourdain is, I think you'll come out enjoying the film. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on Tony, if you've watched it or not, and if you're excited to see what comes next from Matt Johnson. And I really recommend Blackberry if you haven't seen it right before you go see Tony. That way you get a sense of how Matt Johnson does these amazing biopics. But anyways, as always, I'll see you all next time. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Stay tuned for our Buddy review, because that is another movie I think is worth checking out. Very drastic change from the Tony review into Buddy, but I mean, cinema is amazing. Anyways, I'll see you all next time.
I need a job.
You worked in a kitchen before?
Sorry. Yeah.
We open Wednesday to Sunday. Start 11 a.m. What fucking time is it? That means that you are here at 10:45. 11 is late. Anyone late is fired.
You know I can cook too.